A Texas man will be looking for new work after he was fired for apparently doing his job. Take a look.
A security guard is speaking out after he was attacked on the job by two guys he believes were trying to steal his car.
He says he is disappointed in how police and his boss handled the situation. Fox 7's John Krinjak joining us live from East Austin with more on this tonight. John.
Yeah, Mike, Rebecca, we interviewed security officer Percy Payne outside this garage where the attack happened on Monday night. During our interview, Percy Payne's supervisor showed up. An argument ensued between the two of them. That argument ended with Mr. Payne quitting his job and the supervisor saying that the attack was his fault. This was not how security guard Percy Payne expected his shift to go Monday night at this office building on East 6th and Brushy. It all started around 9:30 when he spotted on surveillance video two guys going inside the private underground garage. The door was apparently stuck open.
I witnessed two young Hispanic males on two electric scooters.
He went downstairs to check it out, and he says he saw the teens messing around with his personal car.
One individual was at my driver door with his back to me, looking back. The other individual was at my passenger door, facing me, being a lookout.
The suspect saw him and ran off. He chased after them and says he tried to detain them until someone could call the cops. Then things got physical.
Young individual tried to run me over with his scooter multiple times, and then that's when they started to assault.
Payne says he noticed a screwdriver in one of their pockets.
I heard the individual say, "Hold him," and that's when he went for the screwdriver to try to stab me.
Whoa. Guys, shout out to all my security guards out there. It is not worth risking your life for some of these things. This is why I think he might have made a mistake, personally. So, if you're in this kind of situation, definitely think twice.
Go and immediately went to get my work phone to call 911.
Payne told the dispatcher he wasn't hurt badly enough to require EMS, but needed an officer to respond because of what happened to him.
Even though I told her I got assaulted, she told me we will not be sending police officers out there because they did not steal your car. And that is when I hung up.
He called 911 again a few minutes later.
I got a different operator. I told her the situation. She apologized.
About an hour after that, an officer did arrive who Payne says was very helpful, and the attack is being investigated by detectives as an aggravated assault.
Officer told me that call should have been an emergency case.
APD telling Fox 7 Wednesday night they listened to both 911 calls and, quote, it sounds like it was handled correctly and within policy. APD says an officer didn't respond the first time because it didn't meet certain criteria. Quote, the suspects were no longer on scene in this case. The caller stated that he was fine, did not need EMS, and no vehicle was stolen. So we would not respond to an attempted car break-in or a stolen vehicle attempt.
I don't think that it was taken as seriously as it should have been.
It was as we were discussing this that Payne's supervisor with previous security walked up and asked him to stop talking with us while he was on the job.
Hold on. Before we get to the supervisor, the fact that you could get assaulted at your job and you call the cops and the cops don't want to show up because the assailants left, that's BS, yo. That must be like... I don't know, but guys, this is what it feels like to be black in America. If you're a Gen Z and you're black, let me know if this feels similar when you're working and you call the police, if this is the type of thing that would happen at your job.
Very sorry that happened to you. We have a policy. You're not supposed to do any interviews in your uniform. If you want to do this as a private citizen, you can.
I understand what you're saying, but it's also my safety. And this is the only way my situation will get out there.
Things escalated with Percy making the decision to quit.
Take your uniform off?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But the argument continued.
Look, Percy,
I'm pretty sure.
Whoa. This man look at the bullshit here. This man was assaulted and she's arguing with him just because he wants his assault case to be taken seriously. Guys, imagine this, right? You're a security guard. You're risking your life for the job. You're literally doing your job. He seems like a good employee. You be a good employee, and what's the respect you're paid? Your supervisor harasses you in front of a news channel that wants to like make your incident a bigger national issue, to kind of call attention to it. And she pretty much forces you to rage quit on camera, y'all. Unreal. But we're going to let them finish arguing to see what the rest she got to say, because apparently she's in the right.
Touched him.
Excuse me.
You touched him.
Is it my fault?
I would say yes. Every bit of it is your fault.
Okay. Thank you. Here you go.
No worries.
The fact that my supervisor basically told me it was my fault that I got assaulted, that let me know all that I needed to know.
I do think it is his fault, but I think that I don't think he should have pursued them as they were trying to flee, but he's kind of doing his job, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of tied up on whether he should have done that or not, especially because they said that they might have been like minors, I think, like under 18 or whatever. So the fact that they look like they're going to steal something, but they didn't end up stealing anything, I don't think it was worth to like hold them and wait till the cops to get there. But then again, he's trying to do his job at the best of his ability, and look at the price you have to pay for that. So we're going to let this guy finish, but guys, whoa, this is why Gen Z doesn't want to work anymore, for real.
Now, tonight, Payne tells me he does not regret walking away from his job. I did speak on the phone with someone from Preby Security earlier this evening who said, quote, "We are in the process of gathering details. We have been made aware of it and are looking into the situation." Now, Payne says the suspects appear to be between the ages of 17 and 20. He says he is physically doing okay, but if you have any information, you're urged to call APD.
The video has since went viral on social media, and here's what some people are saying in the comments. First comment says, "Austin has become another sewer hole, California style. Dude literally did his job and got fired. What's the point of security if you won't allow man to do his job? Wow." And my favorite, if his boss was attacked, she would have expected him to defend her. Stories like this make you really wonder, why should I work for somebody? Like, why should I have a 9 to 5? When if I do my job, my boss might turn their back on me. If I call the cops might not show up. You're putting your life on the line for people that won't do the same for you. But the unfortunate thing is, because of the economy, we have to work. Maybe not just one 9 to 5, maybe 3.
Here's the real reason why Gen Z doesn't want to work. Kids these days, they don't want a hard days of work at all. They just want to quit their jobs and be on social media all day long. Yeah, it's actually a lot more complicated than that. We want to quit because we're being taken advantage of, put in huge amounts of debt, and not paid properly.
Gen Z is the first generation that out of college, they're just like, unless I get a job that fits exactly what I'm looking for, I would just rather just not work. And they'll go and they'll take a temporary position, or they'll go for an interview. And if they find that they don't find the things that they're looking for in their employer, they just won't take the job. Whereas back in the day, our parents' generation, baby boomers, they were happy, they would take anything, they would snatch your hand off you offered them a job opportunity, because it was a different culture back then.
I completely agree. And the culture nowadays is every man for himself. I don't just work one job. I work 3 jobs. Like, I seriously do. Like, I literally work every day. I kid you not. Like, I do YouTube, so I work for Uncle Google. Also, I work for Uncle Sam. That's me paying my taxes. I'm a personal trainer, and on the weekends, I work at a restaurant. Now, today was kind of slow, so they sent me home, so now I'm cooking up a video. But yes, best believe tomorrow, 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be starting my double shift.
Gen Z doesn't want to work anymore. That doesn't mean they're not working. They are working. They're working 40 hours a week, and they still can't afford to live on their own. This is the difference between poverty in capitalism and poverty before. Poverty before, it was like, I'm in poverty because I'm like unable to work, or I'm sickly or something. Poverty in capitalism is you are in poverty because you are working. You are in poverty while you are fully working. They can't afford food and rent and healthcare. These aren't luxuries. These are basic necessities.
We can't afford to save. We can't afford to buy things we want. We can't afford to go out and do fun things. We can barely afford to pay our rent and buy food.
A lot of us have like 2 or 3 jobs, or like work a full-time job and have several side hustles. That is the case for me.
And then older generations just look at us and they're like, you're not working hard enough.
This is your fault. Like, you're not working hard enough. That's why you can't get. The reason we can't get by is because the cost of living since the 90s has gone up 67%, while the wages have only gone up 18%.
There's nothing for you. Like, you get an education, you go nowhere. You get into a job market where you get laid off every 6 months and then you spend the next 6 months looking for a job. Or you work at fucking Walmart until your knees turn to dust. And then they don't pay for your fucking knee replacement. Well, you keep working at Walmart. Well, you can't retire and you can't own a home. So you're just going to work until you die. Oh, I don't understand why telling an entire generation you're going to work until you die, why they don't want to work. That's crazy.
It just feels like this constant loop because I spend most of my days in a job that I don't want to be at, but I have to be at. And then when I'm not at this job, I'm too tired and drained to do anything but nothing. So I don't even advance in my life. And people say, like, get another job or whatever, but I don't want another job. I don't want to keep working for other people for the rest of my life. Like, I want to fulfill my dreams. I want to do what makes me happy. I don't want to keep fulfilling someone else's dream and making their business successful. Like, I want to make my business successful.
Oh, sorry. Just a little exhausted from working my other two jobs. And the reality of it is, if I don't go hard for my own dreams, nobody else will. In fact, the truth is, you should work harder on your own business than you do for other people.
I think a lot of people in the older generations look at Gen Z and millennials and say, oh, they're lazy, they're entitled, they don't want to work, they're rebellious, right? And I don't think they realize that a lot of us grew up watching them struggle and not really be happy with their life. So a lot of us subconsciously reject the whole idea of the American dream because we know it's some bullshit. If I talk to the average 19 or 20-year-old and ask them what they want to do career-wise, most of them will probably say rapper, artist, influencer, streamer, model, maybe even something related to tech. But most of these careers didn't exist 30 years ago. So if you tell your parents that, who are probably Gen X or boomers, they will probably discourage you and tell you to do something more traditional or safe based on their experience in the world.
There are definitely alternatives to working in corporate America, and especially in today's world where Gen Z can't stand how corporations run, the fact that a lot of them are not good for society and communities. They're just for profit. The CEOs are making 300 times the average worker. So what Gen Z is doing is they're seeing that there's more stable jobs where they can get the money to pay their bills by being plumbers, construction workers, electricians, basically people in the trades, or by, and this is not everyone, but some, making it on TikTok or social media, developing a following, and then making money through advertising.
Gen Z doesn't want to work a 9 to 5. And a lot of people say it's because we're lazy. A lot of people say it's because we don't want to work and get used to it. That's just life. Welcome to adulthood. And that's just fucking bullshit, bro. Like, shut the fuck up. Honestly, all you fucking rats out there, all you do is fucking talk fucking shit, bro. Just because we don't want to work 40 years of our fucking life to a job that we fucking hate doesn't make us fucking lazy. With all the opportunities nowadays, you don't need to go to a job and trade so much time to make fucking money. Like, I made this when I was sleeping. This generation has so many different opportunities to make money where they can live the life that they want, they can do the things that they love, and they can still make money while they're doing that. They can make money when they're traveling. They can make money when they're fucking sleeping. They can make money when they're spending time with their fucking family. They don't need to go and work for a specific company and work for a specific person, and they are fucking told what to do every single day because all you are is a rat to this fucking system. Once you realize that, you will notice that you've been living your life fucking wrong. You have no control over your life.
He's not wrong, but I don't think he has much control over his life either. You see, all those tattoos on his hands, yeah, that might be the common trend now, but to me, that just shows me you're a follower of the times. So listen, I'm with people that are kind of like forward thinking and stuff like that, but this idea that you guys could just abandon the traditional jobs altogether, yeah, good luck. Me, I got a college degree. That didn't work out. Now I'm doing social media like YouTube to make money, but I'm prepared that might not work out, and I'm prepared to do something else. The last thing you want to do in this generation is reduce the amount of opportunities you're going to have by covering yourself in face tattoos, body tattoos, and only being able to work for yourself. If you could do that and make it work, my friend, you are a genius. You should have started Facebook.
Gen Z and millennials don't want to work. Is that true or false? Well, you may have heard it said in the media. 2022, nobody wants to work anymore. 2014, nobody wants to work anymore. 2006, nobody wants to work anymore. 1989, nobody wants to work anymore. 1981, nobody wants to work anymore. 1979, nobody wants to work anymore. 1969, 1952, 1940, 1937, 1922, 1916, 1905, 1894. Nobody wants to work anymore. Thanks to Paul Ferry for finding these clips. He's writing this great book. So, what you're actually hearing is employers complaining that nobody wants to work for cheap. But look at the corporate profits compared to employee wages over the past few years. Regardless of what you hear people say, most young people want to work. They're smart, and they'll find a way.
I agree. Gen Z, millennials, they are smart, somewhat smart. And I hope they find a way. I don't know if they will find a way. But I think the first thing we need to stop doing, is having a Karl Marx view of life, where it's the rich versus the poor. I get it. Nobody wants to be poor and everybody wants to be rich. But the reality of it is, poor people often condemn the rich when they should really look up to them and aspire to be like them. Now, I'm not saying rich people are some of the best people. Some of them are evil, but there's evil poor people too. The reality of it is that you start off poor. You work hard, you save your money, and then you start the job, or you start the business, I should say, and hire other people. But if anybody wants to know what it's like being a rich person, just understand this, or being someone that owns a business. You are the last person to get paid. Everyone gets paid before you. I went to business school. I started businesses. I remember nights that I'd throw in events, and I had to pay the bouncer. I had to pay the venue. I had to pay the DJ. I paid everybody. And afterwards, what was left over was my share. And guess what was left over most of the time? That's right, zero. And I was throwing modeling events, and I was a photographer, and we're doing photo shoots live for the public. The public loved it. But at the end, I'd go home broke. So listen, for all those business owners that found a way to make money and pay everybody else and still pay themselves and make a profit, don't condemn them. Those people are smart, okay? And you should be happy that they could even employ you instead of feeling entitled to a job. Just know how hard it is to make a living running your own business and paying other people. It's extremely hard.
Gen Z doesn't want to work, or they don't want to work for you. In 2025, Gen Z is going to make up 27% of the entire workforce. But 65% who are already active in the workforce said that they plan on working for themselves or having their own business in the next 10 years. And if that happens, it's going to change the entire workforce landscape because corporations aren't going to be able to fill the seats they need to operate. So, why is this happening? Well, first of all, our generation has been more digitally connected than any generation before it, and we become accustomed to seeking solutions independently through the use of tech. Whether that was finding these solutions to your math problem online or building furniture in your dorm room, Gen Z has a very I'll do it myself mentality.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
That, mixed with the fact that we've been constantly exposed to the idea of entrepreneurship through social media, and we grew up watching kids our age making millions posting videos online, it's no surprise that we'd be influenced to want to do the same. Take me for example. And in the present, the barrier to entry of starting a business has never really been lower when all you need is a phone or a laptop. Which, side note, if you plan on having your own business one day, I'd really recommend starting to learn how to make content now.
Yeah, starting a business has never been as easy as it is today. It's extremely easy, right? But that doesn't mean running a business is easy. Those are two different skills. Listen, I went to business school, and running a business is hard for me, and I understand the psychology of running a business. But guess what? You know what happens when you run a business? Oftentimes you got to deal with the public, and the public could be insufferable at times, and you have to just take it and eat it. You got to eat shit, okay? That's one. Two, you got to learn how to sell. A lot of people want to run businesses, but they don't know how to sell. They don't know how to make content like this guy's saying. Yeah, just go learn how to make content. promoting your content, selling your content way harder. And let me just tell you guys something. I've been doing content my entire life. I try to be a rapper. I failed at that. Okay. I tried to become a photographer, and I was successful at times, but then when COVID hit, I failed at that. Now I'm trying YouTube, and let me tell you something. I just started making money in YouTube last year, but guess how long I've been doing YouTube for? Almost 5 years. How many of you guys are willing to work for 4 years and not make a dime? I don't think many. Again, everybody wants to be rich and have the results of what rich people have, but no one wants to put in the hard work. See, the problem is we see life through reels and highlights, and we think that that's an entrepreneur's entire life. All they're doing is sitting on a beach, sipping martinis around beautiful women, and they're about to hop on a yacht. Yeah, sounds nice. It sounds too good to be true, and guess what? It is too good to be true. A lot of rich people have to sacrifice a lot to get money. Now, are there some people that are exceptions to the rules and their life seems relatively easy? Of course, but most people's lives are shit before things start to work out for them. I'm just letting you guys know. Content is not easy. If you want to become a content creator, let me tell you something. I have some advantages because I've done photography for 8 years, so I know how to edit images and make thumbnails for YouTubes because I've been working with Photoshop for the last decade. So I've had a lot of experience doing it. So those are some transferable skills to when I used to be a photographer to being a content creator. But for you guys that don't know how to use Photoshop, that's going to be something you got to take your time, learn, maybe even pay to learn how to do. If you don't know how to edit videos, you're going to have to pay, learn how to do that. It's not easy. So yeah, learn how to make content. That's part of it. But also learning how to run a business. That's the other part. That's a lot harder than the first part. I'm just saying. Everybody wants to be a rock star and work on making some great music. But selling music is a whole different skill. And a lot of you guys don't got the skill to do it. So I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying that it's not as easy as it appears. And most of you guys are not going to succeed. I'm just saying. Just letting you know.
I refuse to work until I'm 65 years old. Like, absolutely not. It is not going to happen. The fact that I'm expected to work for 35 more years, way longer than I've been alive, is wild. It's crazy. I am ready to retire right now. Like, right now. I've only been a nurse for like 7 years, and I'm just ready to go. That's why I've been so obsessed with aggressively investing and saving lately, because I just cannot wait to be out of the workforce. I am meant to explore the world and travel. I am not meant to work. Help.
Why is it that I have to work 40 hours a week just so I can have a place to live? 40 hours a week makes me $2,000 a month, and my rent is $1,660. So I work 40 hours a week so I can have a 2-bedroom apartment. I don't know what to do. I'm not made for this.
You know, a lot of people are making fun of this girl, but, all of the points I want to make about this video are completely negated by the fact that she can't see the simple fact that she needs to get a roommate. $1,600+ a month for rent for one person in a 2-bedroom is absurd. Get a roommate, figure it out.
Trouble for Gen Z in the workplace. Employers are reporting that this generation is the most difficult to work with.
You want to know what's funny? Come here. It's not that the new generation is more difficult to work with. It's that the older generation is more difficult to work for, right? Because in the article, it further explains that the newer generation is more difficult to work with, right? Because apparently they're easily offended. Get so close right now. I promise you it's the older generation that is more offended than anybody else. If you don't believe me, go to your boss and ask for a raise and watch how offended everybody gets, right? Or put in your 2-week notice and watch how personal your boss takes that, right? Another reason was apparently the new generation is untrustworthy. I promise you, during your job interview, when your boss says, we're like a family, and then you have to take a day off because it's a personal issue, watch them make you feel so guilty for doing so, right? And lastly, they said that the newer generation apparently are lazy. It's not that they're lazy. They're not getting paid enough to do more than what they're already hired to do. That's not called being lazy. That's called taking a stance and having standards.
Having standards, eh? Yeah. You see that guy? You agree with what he said, right? Well, the funny thing is, he might come off like a cool content creator and he's relatable. The reality of it is he's an amazing salesman because he just sold you some bullshit and you bought it. The truth is you got to work for more than you're paid for at times. Don't believe me? Check out this quote by Zig Ziglar. And I don't care what generation it is, this largely remains true. Zig Ziglar once said, when you do more than you're paid for, eventually you'll be paid for more than you do. Problem is, you guys want to be paid for more than you do from the beginning. Just because you got a degree. Just because you paid so much for your degree, you want to get paid more. It's not how it works. Okay, you're paid in direct correlation to how much you could offer the market. Okay, you see artists, they get paid millions of dollars. Guess what? They're making their companies millions of dollars. Okay, they're paid in the direct proportion to their value. So let me say this, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Okay, build yourself. If you don't want to work for anyone else, or if you're just lazy, I would say build yourself, build your skill. Okay. And my dad had a phrase that I really liked when I was growing up. You know what he used to tell me? He should tell me this. It's better to be underpaid than overpaid. Because if you're underpaid, you're offering your job a huge amount of value. They know you're worth a lot. If you're overpaid, my friend, when it's time to make cutbacks, you're one of the first to go. So you guys are thinking about making a lot of money. The first things first. You got to make sure you can even keep a job and have a secure job. And you know, those things don't exist anymore. But the reality of it is, jobs are more secured for people that are underpaid and overpaid. Anyway, that's my thoughts. I want to see you guys succeed. Absolutely. I'm not Gen Z. I'm a millennial. And trust me, I don't mind working. I'm working 7 days a week. And I literally got to go to sleep right now because I got to get up in like 5-6 hours. And I haven't even went to sleep yet because I'm working 3 jobs. I know. But I want to make it. Okay, I really do. And I want you to make it too. And if you like videos like this, please comment below because I'm willing to do more videos like this. And check out some of my other videos because you know what? I'm trying to be a content creator. So I need you guys to watch and consume this content so Google is going to pay me on AdSense. And if you really, really like this video, please subscribe to the channel because I got more coming. But first, take a look at some of my other videos and I'll see you over there.